Hello, thank you for joining me. Sorry, I had a few technical difficulties, hence just a few fraction minutes late. Thank you so much for joining me on my channel. This is Esther at Stampin Style Creations, here to do some paper crafting with you tonight. My video looks a little bit slurry, it looks a little bit like delayed and stuttered, but hopefully it'll fix itself. So, on that happy note, today, if you read my title for today, I want to do something based on a Japanese art of fixing broken pottery. It's amazing. If you go onto Google and have a look at it, you can see some beautiful examples. Now, I'm not Japanese, so I might pronounce this wrong, but I'm going to try my best to pronounce the technique, and you'll have to let me know if you've seen it before. It's called Kintsugi, and I'll give you the spelling in a minute, okay? And it translates as roughly golden joinery, okay? It's also known as kintsukuroi. I think I got that right. I got it off Google. Blame it on Google if it's wrong. And it's really beautiful. So the idea is that if a piece of pottery gets broken, that you don't just chuck it in the bin, you actually fix it by joining it together with, usually with metal. So it's usually gold, but other metals are used as well. So I'll just read the little quote to you. So it recognises the history of the object and to visibly incorporate the repair into the new piece instead of disguising it. I love that. And I think for me personally, it has a bit of a spiritual meaning with being a Christian and knowing that although we could be all broken and we're not, we're not perfect, that, Jesus can come along and fix us and help us. So I just think it's really lovely. So Kintsugi, all right, that's your quote for tonight. Now, I will turn the camera, but I wanted to say I made a card and I was just doing my quick team meeting and I flashed it up to show everybody and I've put it down and I cannot find it. But typically, no doubt, when I finish the video, it'll turn up, when you're not looking for it. So I had a quick play and I'm going to show you what we're aiming for and then we'll make something together. Okay? Long introduction. Hopefully it was worth it. Let's say a quick hello to everybody joining. Good morning, Vicky. 2 days into 1 day seeing you. Amazing. Hi, Ellie. Hi, Gina. You're back, says Sheila. I tried to schedule my video, but it wasn't working for me. So I'm going to stick to the old ways. Hi, Janice. Hi, Shirley. And Audrey. Hi, I was thinking about you. I saw you commented, I think, on, was it Janice's? Sorry, I should give you a warning when I'm saying somebody's video, and I thought, I've not seen you in ages, Audrey. And Carol, how nice of you to drop in. Okay, so just quick recap, based on the kind of Japanese art of Kintsugi. So I wanted to play with some natural papers, and I'm using kind of woods and pottery and florals for my arrangement. So I've torn it, and then I've laid some gold. So if you look on Google and look it up, you can, this is, you can see what I'm aiming for. Nancy Jo says, hi, I misplaced my Whisper White scraps. I can't find them. Nancy Jo, if you're anything like me, it won't take much to get some more Whisper White scraps. Welcome, Sandra. Lovely to have your company. Hi, Cindy, and hi there to Deborah. So we're going to make something together. I've just got a piece of Whisper White. It doesn't have to be fancy cards because you're actually going to cover it. So, but it's just something I had to hand. So I'm just going to play with what I've got. Okay, so like I said, I've got some papers here beside me. So these are from the In Good Taste Designer Series paper. Lots of fabric textures and wood textures and that tiles and fabrics and, oh, my light switched itself off. Come on, lovey. Why have you switched off? Oh no, come on, come on. I think it's a bit sensitive tonight. And so then I've also got samples of the Peony Garden, which is lovely. I thought the black and white, oh, it's got marble, we could use that on that side. I've also got some of this, which is from, I can't remember what it's called. Here comes my cup of tea. Try not to spill it this time, thank you.
Hello world.
I can't remember, what's this? Sorry, I'm just going to adjust you a bit. Thank you, Indigo. See, sometimes when somebody tells you the first bit, then you remember the rest. Is it me, or is it like jittery? So for some reason my Stampin seal has gone walkabouts. I've got the plus, but the Stampin seal's gone walkabouts. So it is jittery, is it? Is it jittery? I'll try and move slowly. So I'm just going to do a wave of multi-purpose liquid glue because it lays a foundation for me. It's in the same place as my card. So the idea is that I'm just going to get some torn pieces of paper and just build up. So I am actually going to not stick down the edges because sometimes I find I need to tuck underneath the pieces. Let's break into this. Hi Norma, and hi to Carol, great to have you. So the other thing is to try not to be too precise with it, which I find a bit difficult because I do like a bit of precision sometimes, believe it or not. But it's just about like trying to let go, and like you want that broken look, you don't want that complete nice look to it. You want it to have that nice feel of it being broken and it's going to be mended again, so you want it to have that. Just going to try and tuck this under here. It doesn't want to go because it's getting a bit tacky. Okay, let's work with it. It doesn't want to stick, so we'll move it across. Oh, did you hear my tummy rumbling? Right. Let's see what else we've got. And the other thing I like about this is just trying to create contrast on my paper. So if I've got, particularly the dark colours are great for this. Just going to see what else I've got here. Have a image. Let's break into this. It's really difficult not to have clean lines. I think as crafters we're so used to having clean lines for everything that actually tearing things up is almost alien to us, especially as we want kind of really unusual shapes on a paper. Because when things get broken, they don't get broken in straight lines, unfortunately, or else they'll be super easy to fix, wouldn't they? And it's quite fun to just tear paper and just see where it goes. So I'm not too worried about the straight lines because I'm hoping I'll just cover them over with my cutting out. I don't know which is worse, tearing paper or cutting it. It feels like tearing is worse, to be honest. Got a nice bit of contrasting wood grain over here. It's not wanting to stick because I ain't got no glue there. So feel free to share out my video. I'm happy for it to be shared out with people that you think would enjoy the video. Maybe they've not seen me before, who might enjoy this kind of thing, something a bit different. I do like the contrast of this blue, so it feels like we're just, you know, making a bit of a hot mess, which can be fun sometimes, because it, you know, to let go after a busy day and just let loose for a bit is nice, isn't it? And there's no kind of right or wrong, which is quite nice. And it feels like you're kind of fixing up a piece of artwork, which you are in a sense. You're fixing it up to make it into something beautiful. So let's have a think. Maybe we could do with another piece of this. So just take a step back. You wanting those contrasting pieces. Let's get this a bit smaller. There we go. Has anybody heard of Kintsugi before? Patricia says, I hate it, but everyone has an opinion. That's okay. You don't have to like everything. And also, I think you've got to remember that it's a process. So actually, this is not the finished article. And it's about being inspired by artwork as well. So that's fine. Sometimes, you know, you can stop a project and think, no, I do not like this. It's not working out. But when you actually finish with it, you're like, actually, I'm really glad that I stuck with it. Oh, thank you so much, Vicky. It's very kind of you. Thank you to those who super chat. What I would say is don't waste loads and loads of money if you are wanting to super chat. I obviously take all donations, but PayPal will be your friend if you were inclined to do a bigger donation. I'm not saying you need to. All supporters get a video from me the following month as well. So thank you very much. So I'm just going to, just so that I can see what I'm working with, I'm going to just trim off the ends. Oh, Deborah, that's really kind. Thank you. Oh, you guys. Makes me feel so special. Thank you. Okay. Sometimes it's easier to cut the whole card rather than cutting the scraps of paper because you don't want your blade to get caught. So, like I said, I've not measured this piece of card. This is just a piece that I'm happening to work with. Okay, so my secret weapon to this technique is, if you haven't guessed already, Versamark Ink Refill. Okay, so Versamark is a sticky ink that you can use to create watermarks, so like tone on tone colour. So you can stamp in it, and then, for example, if you were stamping on blue, it kind of shows up in a shade of blue. The other thing it's great for is to use with embossing powders, which are very fine powders that after you've stamped it and then you put powder on it and you heat it up, which we're going to do in a minute, it melts the powder. So I don't need the ink. Oh, my light's gone again. What's going on? So I'm using the refill straight from the bottle. I'm going to try and zoom a bit more so you can see what's going on. No, don't do that. Okay, and I'm going to, not too precisely, but just using those tears as my guide to run down, and it's quite a sticky ink. So I'm just going to use it to follow. Oh, Carol, thank you so much. You guys are superstars. Just going to run it down the creases like this. Okay, and you want to try and aim for the ends of the creases. Sometimes it will soak into those tears because they are at the very edge, and ideally you want the joins to join. Okay, so you don't want too much, so squeeze and move at the same time. Like I said, because it's sticky, I keep having to come back on myself. But now I'm just going to put the heat tool on so I can warm it up, so hopefully we won't have to wait ages for when we come to put the embossing powder on. Oh look, I'm going a little bit more speedy now. Oh, thank you, Carol. I had the idea in my head, and then it was quite nice to actually try and work it out on paper to see if it would work. I wish I could find the other sample. Oh, sorry, I didn't realise my phone was still on. If I do, I'll try and remember to show you. So you can also do this with one lot of paper. It doesn't have to be several different ones like I'm doing here, but I just think it leaves a really fun effect to do it over lots of textures. So once you've got your Versamark ink down, I'm going to use my gold powder. As you can see, it is soaking quite quickly into my paper, so I'm going to try and get as much powder down as possible, like so. Oh, look at that. just about covered it. And we're going to tap off the excess now. Normally I'd run across my embossing buddy. Janice, that's funny. Janice says, I'm really having a why didn't I think of that kind of night. Janice, it's happened to me. Can you believe it? I know, it happens to me. I go, oh man, I wish I thought of that first. Or, do you know what's even more annoying? When I've thought about it and then somebody else has gone and done it. Oh, I find that so frustrating. What is it, eh? What is it about it? I'm just going to try and tap a bit more there. Oh, Melanie's been busy doing her pre-order. Oh, I suppose we'll let you off. You've come for the good bit. Okay, you might want to just turn the sound off on your microphone down, not off, down a little bit. I'm going to be blasting the paper. I like to heat underneath my paper first. Now, as you can see, the papers will be lifting off because they're not completely stuck down. Ellie said, yeah, I was going to do this tomorrow. Now you've done it. Just kidding. Ellie's pulling my leg. So when we put the heat on, you can see the powder turning into liquid gold. It does leave a bit of a watery residue because it's going straight onto that ink. So you've got quite a thick layer. Shall I talk to you afterwards? So you want to move a bit more speedily than you would if it was just a stamped image, is what I'm trying to say. Okay, I can see a spot that I missed, but I quite like the fact it lifts off the edges. And it feels like a piece of artwork and a piece of pottery, and that's what my aim is. Just going to switch off my phone while, there you go, while I remember, sorry. I don't want it blinking and bleeping at me. There we go, shush now. Hush, little one. Okay. There we go. So if you wanted to, you can go back and just stick down those edges. And I would just be careful not to touch it and let it dry at this stage, because if you do press it, sometimes the liquid isn't dry yet. So what I'd love to do is maybe go around the edge, or you could die cut it out as well. Oh, exciting. I love it. Right, do you want to see it done? But I will use maybe one tone of paper. Maybe we'll use the blues and the boho indigo papers. Would you like to do that? And maybe we could try silver. How about that? Okay, I'm going to leave that there to dry. Let's see what paper or card I've got lying around that I could use. Let's see what I've got. Any questions? Any questions? Okay, I don't know why I want to use white paper card. You're not going to see it, but I do. Ellie says it reminds me a bit of leaded window lights. Yes. Now I do have, what do they use for that? Like a silvery, could mix our own silver black, couldn't we? Oh, that would look cool. Like a silvery black embossing. Yeah, like stained glass, exactly. So you could do that with like really bright, we could try that with really bright. So, okay, place your votes. Do you want to try some blue tones, or should we go for really brights and do like a different effect? Maybe sort of stained glass window, but maybe not quite. Let me know. Place your votes and then we'll decide, because I've got maybe use some bright DSP. So I've got one vote for blue and silver. Both, says Janice. Janice is cheating. I'm going to have a sip of tea. both. Right, I think we've got more votes for the silver tones. Good morning, Ellen. How nice of you to join. Nice to see you. Right. Okay, we'll try the... Now, the other side of this is darker, which is quite nice. So you've got the tone of the darker colours. I'm going to rip this in half. Sacrilege, I know. Let's just zoom you out a touch so you get a sense of, hi Tashana, what we're doing. Okay, so I'm going to try and maybe make this one not such a big design, but you know what it's like. Okay, so same again, just I'm going to squiggle some glue on. Ooh. Paper is for using, not for hoarding, okay? Just telling you now, in case you wondered. I'm going to turn this around because I quite like it, having the white paper showing. That's it, say yes, miss. You tell him. So whatever you have showing, you want it to be the torn bit, okay, showing. She says, not listening to her own advice. Do not hoard DSP or else I will come after you. This is a nice contrast to this lovely floral. Let's go right to the end of the paper here. Repeat after me. We must not hoard DSP. We must not hoard DSP. Janet says she likes to stroke and appreciate. You can do that, look. And then you tear, you cut and you use. Hi there, Christine. There we go. Right, a little bit more floral up here, methinks. I'm having a ripping time, absolutely. Yeah. Right, well, if you keep on hoarding, you're going to end up with a lot more lines than perfect. Just one to fit in the end here. I thought somebody said I wasn't going to do as many as many shapes. Too bad. Sorry, I've done it. Okay. Let's get the... Oh, where's he gone? Hello? I don't know why I keep putting my trimmer back in the wrong place. It's not very useful at all. I keep losing it. Looks good already, thank you. I was a little bit quicker this time. Cindy's finishing her Christmas cards from 2012 and 2014. Oh, with DSP, I see. I was thinking, do we dare tell Cindy it's now 2020? Oh dear, that's funny. Right. Just make sure it's all got torn edges. Now, should we do silver? Let's do something a bit different. Okay, silver. Now, the other thing I forgot to do, which was right next to me, was to actually use my... Whoa, I spot a straight line. He's not allowed in here. You are not allowed in here. Oh, creating more broken mess here. Oh well, that's fine. We'll leave it as it is because I can go over it. The embossing buddy just helps the stray powder not to stray where it's not needed. Oh, another straight bit. There we go. But don't worry too much because, like I said, you can actually use your liquid to give it the What am I saying? The desired effect. I just thought, I wonder if Tombow would work. That'd be interesting. I might do a little experiment on that corner there. Okay? We'll see. I might have not needed this all along. Trying to join the two up is a little bit tricky. Doesn't want to go. Might not even need this after all that. But there's only one way to find out, isn't there? Right, my eyes are down, so I'm sorry if I'm missing any comments. Concentration face. Yeah, this is coming out a little bit thicker than before. But it just takes a little while to get the hang of it. So if I lie it down at an angle, there you go, it's liking that a bit better. It's taken me the whole sheet to learn that. Okay. So we're going silver. Interested to see if this Tombow is going to take the strain of the powder. Now it's worth tipping your project in different directions because sometimes it does get caught up in the paper. Norma's asking, does DSP ever carry over to the next catalogue? I don't think it does. I'm trying to recall if I've ever seen it carrying over, but I don't recall that I've seen it before. Christine's just eaten her first Christmas treat. We had Christmas pudding tonight. Christine, what did you have? People are liking the blues. Could use water too. Red tape, yeah. The idea is to get this nice cracked look. Okay, volume's down if you want. Oh, thank you. Tashana says it has carried over once or twice, but normally doesn't. Be careful with your fingers. I feel like I'm burning mine. They have started to carry papers over. Thank you. Like the brightly gleaming, like Ellen has said. Just grab out some tweezers. So I think they are starting to think about carry. And is it not First Frost? There's another paper that I think carried over as well. Ah, that's interesting. Very interesting. Right. Sorry about the noise. It kind of needs must. Oh, look, I've done it again. I think it's my cable. I must be knocking my light. Feels like frost. There you go. Wasn't far off. Oh, yum. I love Florentines. Right. So, oh, what is going on? Come on, I need you to stay on for a minute. If I talk nicely, don't mind listen. So this here is the bit that we used, we put glue on instead. And if I try and get it to a point, it gives like a thinner, more raised relief look. Now, will that squash down? It will squash down a little bit. But you get a lot finer detail with that. So that is quite interesting, whether we try with Tombow now. So I'm just going to bring back this one, compare and contrast. That's with the gold, and then this one was with the silver. There, what do you think? Thoughts on answers on your postcards? I'm going to have a sip of tea again. There we go. Thank you for those of you in the comments who are letting me know which papers carried over. So I think they made that decision this year to see if things would, you know, see if they would still remain popular. Okay. So as I'm here, some of you wanted me to try both. Now it might be a little bit outrageous on bright cards, but let's, as we're here, how am I doing on the old time? And I was late tonight, so you know, I might choose this bright pink one here. Okay. This might look absolutely wrong, but I'm gonna try it anyway. Might grab out some more neutral colours. Has the Tombow bubbled? That's a good question. Be outrageous, says Ellie. It has bubbled a little bit, but it kind of it's in the effect of the whole thing. So hopefully, you know. Hi, Wendy. How about black and white with white embossing powder? Black and white. I've got to get my head around that. Yes, that would look cool. Or even black embossing powder. So I'm going to be slightly outrageous and see what we've got here. I want some bright colours. Okay. Oh dear, my light is not happy tonight. Just see what's wrong with that. I think the gold I prefer, silver is okay. Yeah, I think the gold kind of is more the original look, if that makes sense. And it gives it stands out more. Yes, you lot, there's all sorts of things you go off and try it. Go on. So let's try a slightly more wacky version, because we can. I'm not thinking about the fact that I've got to go and load the dishwasher in a minute. You know, when I'm here to craft, babies. Let's get a little bit of an angle going here. Yeah, the gold is a contrast on the neutral DSP. I think I quite like that look. And like I said, it's probably closer to the kind of original idea. I couldn't think of the word. Come on, brain, work with me. It's momentarily gone to sleep then. Christine says, I've joined late, what are we comparing it to? So this is the original one that we did, and this was probably, like I said, a bit more closer to the Japanese Kintsugi, which is, I'll explain what it is. it's Kintsugi or Kintsuguroi, I think is how you pronounce it, is about repairing broken ceramics and recognising the history of the object. So it might be a pot that you've had for years, or that your family have had, and then you fix it with metal, usually gold or other metals. So you incorporate the repair into the new piece of pottery rather than trying to disguise it and pretend it's not broken. You embrace the brokenness of the pottery and the newness, the new life that you're going to give it. I don't like this. I've got a funny angle going on here, which I want to try and get rid of, but just put a blob there, see what happens. Yeah, it's really fascinating. I'll show you my piece of paper, my scruffy writing, and then you can go and look it up on Google. I suppose when things are broken, they do have like a, they are going to have a jaggedy edge. Inspired by the stripes, I never use the stripes. That's okay. That's for another piece of art. Okay, so are we thinking we want to make our own metallic colour up? I'm happy to do that because I think I might have a pot that I can find. Just missed what you said, Audrey. Let's have a look. I could have done that in my 1960s Beatles plate that got broken after 13 fixes. Wow. Oh, sad times. I love the fact that, I mean, this, it's their version of reduce, reuse, recycle in a sense, isn't it? But in such an artistic, cultured way. I think it's just lovely. Right, a pot to mix my own embossing. What have I got here? Just bear with me a sec. I'm going to pull my squeaky. Sorry, that bottom drawer is really squeaky. Okay, I've kept an old pot here, which I've just kept small circles in, which I've got rid of all my paper scraps that was hoarding in a drawer, and got rid of them on a local site. So I'm hoping they can go with that. So what do I want? Esther, concentrate. I suppose, what do we want? Black with a bit of silver and gold. Oh, thank you, Ellen. I hope you have a really good day at work. So a little bit of silver. And a little bit of gold. And there's a Stampin' Up demo that mixes all her colours. I'm trying to think who it was. Is it Liz Yule? I think. Possibly. Somebody does it. Like, if you've got a whole mix of embossing powders, you kind of create your own colour. I don't want too much black in it because it'll go rather dark. It's quite exciting. Well, that's not going to be enough, is it, Esther? You've got to cover the whole. That's certainly not going to be enough. You need to risk a bit more than that if you're going to. Okay. I'm not going to put white in it because that would just. I thought I spilt my entire pot. Oh dear. So I'm putting copper, gold, silver, and a bit of black. Mix it all together and you've got your own colour. I know, right? I was just like, I thought that was everywhere. Thanks, Ellen. I will try and sleep well. Oh, look at that. Absolutely risk it for a biscuit. A biscuit is worth it. In my opinion. Right, okay. So I'm thinking, as we did Tombow, let's do Tombow again. Embossing buddy, where are you? Here I am. This is my powdered friend, who just takes away any sticky marks where I don't want them, where I don't want the powder to go. Risk it for a Swiss kit. I like that. Be a bit more useful than a biscuit, wouldn't it? So let's try Mr. Tombow Glue. Not more easier to guide because it's more liquid. And you could go in a little bit thicker if you wanted to, but I quite like the idea of it being a bit thinner. So again, because that bit's not torn, we're trying to disguise that jaggy edge. You can make up the... You can do this without tearing the paper and by doing it on a whole sheet of paper, but I think I prefer stroke. I like the idea of having different designs glued together to kind of give it that patchwork look. Okay. Oh, it was an advert years ago. I didn't know that. Okay, here goes. Here goes. I'm going to need to have enough to do the whole thing. Okay, I'm just going to warm up my... Okay, bear with me. Whoops, sorry. I think you guys are a little bit close. Okay, a little bit of glue dropped down then. Okay. Oh, your son mixed all your embossing powders, did he? Oh, so you probably got the same colour as me. I know, you've got to be 2 metres apart now, says Ellie. So, rolls. Okay, volume's down if you don't want this to be in your microphone. Just going to heat it from the top because it'll make my life easier. And just see if you can zoom in so you can see. I'll be able to see a bit more what's going on. So it does bubble. Taking a bit longer to dry because it is wet, obviously, and it's not meant for this purpose necessarily. Oh, I love the colour. Okay. Let's have a look. Wow, that's given it like a really pop of 3D look. I reckon if I put my finger over it, it will squash it. Okay. But that is super different. Okay. So I'm not going to take up any more time to make them into cards tonight, I don't think. She says. Just wondering what it'd look like cut down to size. I do want to see what it looks like, you know, actually mounted on something. So let's see. 3 7/8. I've got quite a... Oh, that's all right. Let's just cut this down. So obviously I've turned it around because you don't want it catching on all those. Oh, look, even that, I could use that on a card. Oh no, you're going to ask us to vote now and I can't choose, says Ellie. Well, you've got a bit of time while I trim this. Let's see how much this one needs trimming down. Oh good, it's only a little bit. Painted it quick. I think he's already kind of painted. I've painted it off the paintant. Okay, and then let's have a look at this one. I should have done this bit first, shouldn't I? Actually cut it down to size, but I didn't. The fact is I didn't. Now, that's interesting. Some of it hasn't dried yet because I can see that it's on my trimmer. So that was probably from the gold, I think. So you do need longer for it to dry. It does dry. I wish I could show you my other card. 5 and okay, that's smaller. So that's what, 5.5. Let's cut that down to 5.5. Sorry, I just got to do these measurements a minute. 5.5. Make that one 5.5 by 3 3/4. Okay, it's a little bit sticky on my trimmer, but it can be cleaned off. It's okay. Now let's see what happens to this. Yeah, you see this is still a little bit wet underneath. I'm just putting my thumb on it, and it is a bit wet underneath, so it is a bit tacky. So just bear that in mind, okay? Don't go and give yourselves a messy board. So this is, so I'll do 3.5 by 5 1/4. Oh, that wasn't too painful. I can now use the scraps for what? One of your other techniques. Okay. So you can go ahead and vote, and I'm going to just grab some cards to see. Let's move this out of the way. I'm desperate to see what this looks like mounted on a piece of cardstock. So if you like these papers and like what I've done tonight, you can order from my online shop at stampinstarcreations.co.uk, and I'll happily be your demonstrator if you don't have one already. There you go, that's it against the navy. Let's get some misty moonlight. Now I think, I mean, even this one could do with, let's try it on a sticker on the back of it. Actually, I like it on the early espresso. And it's up to you which way around you do it. It's easier to fit on screen if I do it this way around. So this bad boy here, I'm thinking, oh, excuse me. I am thinking, I don't have any white, but just a plain colour. My fingers are getting all gluey. I need to let that dry properly. Right, let's have a look at your votes. Number 1. Number 3, Espresso Gold. Number 1, number 2, number 1. Lots of votes for number 1. Yeah, this was my kind of. I really wish I could find that card because I want to show you what it looked like with one pattern, one colour, and with the gold. Wendy likes number 2. Mixed colours with the mixed embossing powders. Number 1. Yeah. So it's really interesting. This is, you know, much more contrast. I think much more contrast. Like I said, you've got papers that are going to lift away a little bit. I quite like the idea that I am going to try and stick it down in there a bit. So still have that kind of texture happening. Christine likes 3 2 1. Norma likes 2 1 3 2 for Janice. So that's interesting that bright one gets a vote. That's interesting. So you guys like that one as well. It's different, isn't it? Really different. And what I would do is not put too much on it in terms of a sentiment. Just keep it really simple. Let the paper do the talking. Delinda, you almost missed me. She's come right at the end. She's cheating. She's seen it all. She's seen it all already. But that's okay. Sometimes it's quite nice to see the outcome and then go back to the beginning. Right, let's turn you around. Don't be seasick, everybody. Or viewing sick, whatever you want to call it. So that's the art of Kintsugi. Your well pump. Oh, Delinda was taking care of her well pump. I hope it's now pumping. Christine loves them all. Thank you. Lovely to see you as always. Kintsugi. I presume that's the way you say it. Like I said, I'm not Japanese, don't claim to be. So apologies if it's just coming out wrong. And 3, 2, 1 for Melanie. She was having a long think. So we've got a delayed reaction from Melanie. Love it. Okie pokey, people. Thank you so much for joining me in this journey of experimenting. You are so welcome, Tashana. She says, very interesting technique. Thanks for sharing. And if I find that card, it's no point talking about it if I can't show you. I'm just looking around my room going, I know it's in here somewhere. It hasn't left the room. I think the trouble with doing lives is you tend to place things down, and my desk is fairly tidy for me. So no worries, no worries. Thank you so much. Just catching up with your messages. Lovely. Thank you, everybody. If you're not a subscriber already, please do hit that bell button and you get notifications of my lives. I did a video, went live at 6 o'clock tonight, which was quite fun to do using the new Succulents, Simply Succulents stamp set. And I'm going through a bit of a heat embossing phase, just warning you, okay? Seems to be my thing at the moment. Heat embossing and blending, and then a pop of white. Just, you know, if you see a bit more of that, then anyway, it just shows you that, you know, you can do more than one thing. Yes, it was live tonight, so it'll be on my channel. A thumbs up is happily appreciated. It's free. It's literally the click of a button, and comments are always welcome as well, because it just helps, you know, videos get seen. I'm there, little fish, big YouTube pond, and I appreciate all the help I can get. Succulents, new succulents, indeedy. Yes. I didn't get the succulents before, but I got these ones. Yes. I think these ones they're just different. Different. That's all I'm going to say. All right. Nice to see you. Take care, everybody. If that's everything. Oh, thank you, Ellie. You're a beautiful fish, though, she says. So if you're wondering who I'm talking to, you can catch up with the live chat afterwards. Delinda, Toodles. I love that. That's so sweet. Yes, you can catch up with the live chat afterwards. Take care. I'm going to go. Love you and leave you. And I'll be back next Tuesday, God willing. And I'll catch you then. Take care. Bye.